Let's talk about what other religions teach. My hope is in no way to call into question the devotion of the people who believe these religions, or to comment at all on their level of intelligence or devotion or anything. All I want to show you is two things. First, it's not the same. First, they don't believe the same thing. Second, they can't both be true. That's all I want to establish. Let's start with Islam. Here's a picture. Islam, AD 622, is when it was formed. So 600 years after Christ. Just get your bearings. They came along and said a few new things about Jesus. Okay? There's about 1.6 billion people worldwide who would be considered Muslim. In the U.S., get this, in the year 2000, there were about 1 million Muslims. It over than doubled by 2010. There's now over 2.6 million Muslims in the U.S. Hey, do you know the most Muslim state in the nation? Greatest percentage of Muslims in the nation, according to the state population, is in Illinois. So what do they believe? What do they believe? Write this down. They believe Jesus never claimed to be God. He's certainly not a member of the Trinity. He's just a prophet. Jesus is just a prophet like Moses, like Muhammad. This is what they would say. Human who served a special purpose. 100% human, 0% God, who served a special purpose, just like Moses. Okay, but Hebrews 1:1-2, here's what that says. It says this: long ago, at many times and in many ways, God spoke to our fathers by the prophets. But in these last days, he has spoken to us by his Son, whom he appointed the, listen, heir of all things, through whom also he created the world. Hey, Moses. I said, hey, Moses. You got to answer me. Yeah? Did you create the universe? You didn't do that? Are you the heir of everything that's ever been made? No? Huh. I think I got you. What do you think? The book of Hebrews establishes that Jesus is greater than any other prophet in all the Scripture. Read it and you'll see that it's true. So to say that he was just a prophet, just like Moses, does not go along with what the Bible teaches. Muslims also believe that Jesus did not die on the cross. I'd say that's a pretty important piece of our belief system, wouldn't you? They said it never happened. They think maybe it was Judas, maybe it was Simon of Cyrene, they're not quite sure, but Jesus was never nailed to a piece of wood, meaning whatever we think he accomplished on that cross never happened in their theology. They also believe that Jesus, get this, he didn't die. He kind of either ascended up to heaven or he's maybe hiding out somewhere, but he never died. He will return someday. He's coming back. They believe in the return of Christ, and they even think that he's going to take out the Antichrist, but then he's going to die, because everyone has to die. This is what they believe. Okay, so question. Is that the same thing as what you believe? Come on now, say it. Is that the same thing as what you believe? Okay, so it's not the same. Can both be true at the same time? He died on the cross and he didn't die on the cross. He's coming back to establish his kingdom that will last forever, and he's coming back to die and be put in a grave. Do those go together? No. So I want you to understand now that now you know what they believe. For someone to come along and say, it's the same, you have to tell that person that what they're saying is illogical, irrational, ignorant, and foolish. Right? I'm not saying you tell the other person in their belief system that. I'm saying you tell the person who would dare to come along and say, no, Jesus didn't die on the cross, and yes, he did die on the cross, to say that they're saying foolish things that are ignorant and out of touch with reality and not consistent with your belief system or history. Okay? They're not the same, and they can't both be true.